1965 that I enrolled for my junior year at Utah State University in dairy science. I was taking a full load of 17 or 18 credits. In the fall of 1965, I was attending sacrament meeting.
I'd returned from a mission in France and had been awarded a fellowship to come to Utah State to do graduate work.
And so here I was, minding my own business, which I usually do, and I was observing what was going on, and it was sacrament meeting. And in those days, there was a sacrament gem. Right before the priest would bless the sacrament, there'd be a little trilly on the organ, and then somebody would come up and they would quote a scripture. And Jane had that assignment that Sunday. And she got up. I didn't know her from a load of hay. She got up and she gave the sacrament gem. And my friend, Lanny Leslie from Homedale, he was sitting right next to me, and he nudged me in the gut, and he said, "Leon, take a look. You ought to check that gal out." Well, yeah, I thought to myself, I ought to check her out. And so I did.
One night, there was this phone call from Leon Leavitt asking me for a date. And I could tell he was really nervous. But I had another date that night. And so I had to tell him that I had a date, but I tried to be really nice.
Well, I wasn't about to, give up with a no. I learned in the mission field that no means yes. And so I just bid my time, and then I guess it was the following week, I asked her again, and I asked if she would like to accompany me to sacrament meeting. And lo and behold, she did.
And I could remember that I felt comfortable, and I enjoyed being with Leon Leavitt. Our next date was, he asked me to go to his former roommate's wedding reception. That night before he picked me up, a delivery boy came to the door with a dozen red roses. And it said, "To Jane Cannon, from your secret admirer." So my roommates were in this little uproar, like, "Oh, who's your secret admirer?" And somebody said, "Oh, that's Leon." And I said, "Well, I don't think he's the type that would send roses." But lo and behold, I discovered that he was the type that sends roses. And he also likes to kind of make it mysterious.
And so there was a lot of excitement in Jane's apartment when I stopped there to pick her up. And she was beautiful. And Joel Passy, my former roommate, he had a saying, and it was Quatch, Quatch, something like that. And that was an expression of excitement and endearment and way to go. And as I recall, when we went through the line and he saw me with Jane, he said something like, "Quatch, Leon, way to go." So we stopped in Brigham City at a drive-in to get a hamburger or a drink or something. She made some kind of mistake, and I made the comment, way to muff it.
Way to muff it for me.
Way to muff it for me. And that's been kind of an inside joke that we've had for 50 years.
So those were the beginning days of our dating, and this is probably about the end of January, and we dated. I remember one date that we had was to give Leon a hearing test, and I gave him a hearing test. That's one date we remember. And we remember driving to Salt Lake for either just a movie or a play of My Fair Lady. And as we dated, Leon went to Shelley and met my parents. And I went to Homedale and met his parents.
Things were kind of heating up, if you know what I mean. I loved her and she loved me, and we thought that maybe we had a lot of the same values and goals about eternity and families and da-da-da-da. And so I decided to get the show on the road. And so on one date, on May 23rd, I picked up Jane and we went and parked right in front of the Logan Temple. And I had the 56 Chrysler Windsor, my first car that I bought for $100. Had it 10 years and sold it for $100. Anyway, it was dark, and so I asked Jane if she'd get something, I think some breath mints or something out of the glove compartment for me. And so she obliged, and she opened the glove compartment.
And in the car, it was dark, but the light in the glove compartment went on, and right there, shining under the light, was this little jewelry box with a ring.
And it was open. The box was open. So the light shone down on this diamond ring.
We don't remember exactly what he said or what I said, but we became engaged that night, and we were excited. And I can remember telling my parents that they would be, what a good man Leon was, and they'd be grateful that I married him.
We set the date for August 26th to be married, and we were sealed to each other for all time and all eternity on August 26th.
In the Idaho Falls Temple. We had a reception that night in Shelley at my parents' home, and then a reception the next night in Homedale, where Leon's parents lived.
And you won't believe one of the songs that my mother had during the reception in Homedale. She had some of my high school friends get together, 4 or 5 of them, and they sang, "How Much Is That Doggy in the Window?"
So we surely felt a lot of love and support from our family in both settings, and have all of our lives.
Well, I married an awesome woman. And she is my sweetheart. She's my best friend. And confidentially speaking, she's my guardian angel.
And I've often thought of those words I told my parents, what a good person Leon is, and that they would appreciate him as my husband. And that's true. They did appreciate him as my husband, and I've been grateful all my life for his strong testimony and his willingness and desire to serve. And he's such a good husband, and has been a wonderful father for our children.